Hello everybody. Hello, it's time for another video in which I explain why you should play this specific video game. What game is it this time? Why, it's none other than a pretty new game that just recently came out. Persona 3 and Persona 4. Wait, no, that's not the right game. One Piece Odyssey. No, that's still not the right one. Wait, what other games came out recently? Oh yeah, this game. I forgot about this game. Fire Emblem Engage. The opening bit aside, I've been very excited for Fire Emblem Engage ever since it was revealed to the world just a couple months ago. I'm a massive Fire Emblem fan, and it is probably one of my favorite game series of all time, being only beaten by the Xenoblade series, but, more on that one later. Before I say more, do not worry one little bit. There will be no story spoilers for the game, but I will be showing gameplay of some of the earlier chapters. I'll give you a brief backstory on my history with the Fire Emblem franchise. I was but a wee lad who didn't play much games aside from Pokemon. All I had was my phone and my 3DS. I was trying to find new games to play because I was getting bored of playing through my copy of Pokemon Diamond for the 200th time. I remember wanting to play older Pokemon games, so I wanted to buy myself a Game Boy Advance on Amazon. And oh boy, that turned out to be a horrible decision. They are so expensive, it's not even funny. And then I was looking at other ways to play GBA games, and then I came across the world of emulation. Yep, you can probably see where this is going. On my phone, there was this godsend of an app called My Boy. It was a GBA emulation app on the phone, and by God, it is one of the best things to ever exist. Right next to Anime Girls and the subway at my college campus. I looked for games to play, and lo and behold, I found a game that would eventually downward spiral me into where I am today. Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem 7, the Blazing Blade to be exact. Just like about half of the current Fire Emblem community, this game was the game that got me into Fire Emblem. Or was it? In truth, I played it, enjoyed what I played, but unfortunately I did not finish it. The same thing happened to the next Fire Emblem game that I played, which was Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones. The game that basically rekindled my interest for the series was none other than Fire Emblem Awakening. After Awakening, Fire Emblem quickly became one of my favorite series ever. I have hundreds upon hundreds of hours playing through all of the more recent Fire Emblem games, and I will do the exact same with Fire Emblem Engage. Speaking of Fire Emblem Engage, we should probably get back to the main focus of the video. After finishing the game, sinking almost 50 hours into Engage, I can confidently say that it is indeed a Fire Emblem game. Not sure what you were expecting. If you've played previous Fire Emblem games, you will absolutely find the same experience as other games. You pick a unit, put them next to the enemy, and see them fight until one wins. Does this sound familiar? Because there's this one game that is very similar to it, that has been a thing for at least 1,400 years. It's called chess. But is that such a bad thing? Absolutely not, silly. This game takes the simple formula and adds several new things so that your anime chess simulator can be new, fresh, and innovative. The main thing that they advised for Engage is, well, the Engage mechanic. Intelligent Systems knew that we wanted to marry our favorite characters, so they made an entire game where you can get engaged with Lucina if you wanted to. A dream come true. The Engage mechanic is the main selling point of the game, and a major part of the story. I was going in with expectations that just because it was the main gimmick of the game, that it would be fair and balanced, but I was very, very wrong. The emblems are absolutely broken depending on who you put with who. Throughout my entire playthrough, Idk was struggling super hard to compete because she had so little defense, so she kept getting one shot every single time she got hit. But as soon as I slapped Roy's emblem ring on her, she became absolutely unstoppable, destroying everything in her path. Another aspect about the emblems is how much the entire game relies on the emblems. If a unit does not have one of the 12 emblems equipped, they are at a significant disadvantage. Unless you're an armor class, then they don't really care about anything you throw at them. In some chapters, they will strip you away of your emblems, and you are honestly so much weaker than you usually are. Seriously, if you want a real challenge, aside from Lunatic mode, play the entire game without emblems. Playing those chapters without emblems was a genuine challenge, and I quite enjoyed it. We should talk about something that I was baffled at, from the reveal trailer to the endgame of Engage. How beautiful it looks. This is one of the best looking games in the series. The previous game, Three Houses, looked butt ugly, to be honest. The 3D models didn't look as refined and polished. It was really off-putting, but Engage looks great. Every little thing is super stunning, and I have not seen a single bad animation that stands out. Even in handheld mode, it holds up pretty well and looks great. I've been avoiding talking about specific story details, but after beating the final boss and experiencing the full story, I can say that the story is alright. The story definitely has its really big ups, but also has some really big downs as well. The first and second act was either pretty tame and campy. Nothing really stood out, and the story was extremely formulaic. I found myself not caring too much about the story in the very beginning. However, something that I was not expecting was the third act for Engage. Engage's third act had some of the best scenes. The characters were great. I was super invested in the story and the characters from chapter 20-ish to 26 and the final chapter. I genuinely enjoyed the final parts of the game. Now, there's something else that I have to address. This game is ultra super duper goofy. It's super obvious that this is a departure from the past Fire Emblem games. The animations are wacky and super unrealistic. The writing is so comical, and it's super hard to take this game 100% seriously. Even the opening for the game is just an anime opening. The game itself does not take itself seriously, so you should not either. This is one of the only games to make me genuinely laugh out loud because of some of the stuff in this game. This game has cutscenes and dialogue that cannot be taken too seriously. Here, let me show you some examples.
You're going down. Here, I won't waste this chance.
I'm the Divine Dragon from Lethos, not a thief. I am Alfred, the heir to the throne of Firene, and your ally.
The Divine Dragon and the Crown Prince of Firene?
That's right. Now I would like to know, who are you to shoot at us like that?
I am so sorry! I threatened the Divine Dragon and the Crown Prince of Firene. I'm begging, please find it in your hearts to forgive me!
As much as some people do not want to say this about Fire Emblem, Engage is an anime game. For years, people have been calling Fire Emblem an anime game, and Intelligent System says, "Oh, you think this series is anime? We'll show you anime." And in my personal opinion, I do not care in the slightest. I feel like this is a new breath of fresh air for this series, and I feel like it was much needed. With almost every single game being super serious toned, it's nice to play a game that's more lighthearted compared to the other previous game, Three Houses. Another thing that this game did really well is its characters. In every Fire Emblem game, I have had at least a couple of characters that I dislike, like Wonku from Fire Emblem Awakening, Jacob and Camilla from Fire Emblem Fates, and Leone from Fire Emblem Three Houses. But I am very surprised to find that so far, I do not dislike or hate a single character from Engage. There are some I like more than others, yes, but nobody that I outright despise. However, there are some characters that I did think that I wouldn't ever like, but I ended up liking them a lot. Some of them were Tamara, Ivy, Etier, and now personally one of my favorite Fire Emblem characters ever, Yunaka. I never expected myself to like these characters so much. I bought this game dead set on romancing Celine, but oh my god, as soon as I met Yunaka, I just chose her instead. It is absolutely so satisfying seeing Yunaka crit so many with the banger music theme playing in the background.
Me first! Dropped your guard. I am guided by the emblems.
Speaking of music, let's talk about that. One of the strengths of every Fire Emblem game is its music, and they have not missed ever since the first game came out in 1990. And Engage is no exception. The music in this game absolutely slaps. From the desert map themes, to the flower fields, to even the preparation theme, sounds great and is super addictive to listen to. I'm probably listening to the preparation theme as you're watching this video. The music of each area fits the map super well, with the Psalm maps having more of a Middle Eastern vibe to the soundtracks, to Firene maps having more of a soft and peaceful sounding map theme. The map themes fit the areas and kingdoms well. The final boss theme is also one of the better final boss themes in the series. It ain't no Fire Emblem Fates final boss theme, but it sounds amazing regardless. Fire Emblem Engage is an absolutely incredible fun game, and I believe it is one of the best Fire Emblem games that I have ever played. I have not had this much fun with a Fire Emblem game since Shadows of Valentia in 2017, and Shadows of Valentia is my favorite Fire Emblem game of all time, and Engage is getting pretty close to beating it, which is quite a big feat. If you are new to Fire Emblem and want to get into this series, I would still recommend the previous game, Fire Emblem Three Houses, over Fire Emblem Engage. But in no way is Engage a bad game to start with. It's still player friendly, and despite having a lot of changes, at the end of the day, it is still a Fire Emblem game at heart. So, I hope that you all decide to play Fire Emblem Engage. Just make sure you stay away from Yunaka. She's mine, and I will not share.